Barney is one of Singapore's most advanced neuro-linguistic programming or NLP trainers over the past 13 years, training hundreds of NLP practitioners and thousands of people in areas such as sales, communications, coaching, personal effectiveness, and changing of mindsets. And earlier, Barney, we were talking about the benefits, the fruits of self-empowerment. And let's move on to, how would you identify a self-empowered person? What are the characteristics?
Well, some of the characteristics would be, they do not need permission from outside of themselves to tell them what they need to do or to validate their value or goodness. So the source of authentication comes from within. Yeah. They also have the depth of courage and humility to grow through feedback from others. So they actively seek feedback to grow. And I think that this person also understands that self-empowerment is synonymous to self-enablement, which is that they have faith in their own resources. So they believe in themselves that they have all the resources they need to succeed. So they really rely on themselves.
So essentially they welcome and embrace positive change, whether it's from within themselves or from other people.
Right. And I think that one of the fruits of a self-empowered being is the degree to which he or she is being proactive in life. Yeah. So if you are self-empowered, then basically you lead a life that's more proactive because you're not waiting for something to happen, you're making it happen.
It's intentional living, it's more purpose-driven.
Yes, that's a very nice way to say intentional living. So then we kind of glide into this notion about changing proactively or proactive living, right? And this is one of the major so-called piece of my program, which is teaching people skills on how to be able to live more proactively. So there are 8 keys, and I'll run through them in a big picture, and then I will see if we have enough time to go through the details. So the 8 keys are appreciating pauses in life, being open to possibilities, number 2. Number 3, focusing on positive outcomes. Number 4, the willingness to explore. Number 5, engage in one's own senses. Number 6, harnessing one's emotional mastery. Number 7, valuing feedback. And number 8, acknowledging oneself. So these are the 8 keys in terms of changing proactively.
I'm intrigued about the first one, the one of appreciating pauses.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the idea is that a lot of us go through what we call a more unconscious living, like what you mentioned earlier on. So things that that becomes a part of your habit, part of your daily routine is highly unconscious. Yeah. So a lot of time we respond to situation from a knee-jerk reaction. Yeah. So you don't have time to think about what is the desired action that you want to take. So the difference between one of the definition of the difference between being reactive or proactive is the absence or the presence of pause. When you are able to pause, you are able to choose. You have the time to think, to choose the right action that you want.
So you don't slip into a routine and just get swept away by the pattern of living.
And the other thing is when you pause, you also, with sufficient training, you are able to ask yourself the right question and also begin to understand what you want to get out of any given situation. So you become much more intentional. That's the whole idea. So pause, and then whatever that you've learned, whatever that you want to get out of the situation, you can then choose the appropriate resources that you have within in order to get what you want, rather than just going to autopilot. Most people go into an autopilot situation. So the whole idea is to be able, when you pause, you are given a chance to be able to disengage yourself from your previous programmings. So that's the idea.
So does this entail actually taking time?
I think the pause could be just a couple of seconds. It could be a couple of seconds. Of course, there are people who pause for years. And that will be just one line away from procrastination, right? But we're talking about in a given situation when you tend to kind of react. For example, you go to a meeting, you tell yourself, I don't want to be angry or something like this. And then once you get into the room, if you don't keep that as your primary focus, or you're not giving yourself the right instruction, often people get very disappointed because that's exactly what they do, you know, getting upset in the situation, or they go to a situation whereby they want to be able to perform in a particular way, but they're not conscious of a particular intention. So when they get in, their old program runs again, and the same old routine comes back again. Yeah. So pause is an intentional so-called slowing down, so that you can then direct your attention on the desired action that you want to take. So that's my definition of pause. Now, of course, when you pause, then you also have to have the mindset of being open to possibilities, right? So when people go in a situation that's very challenging, and then what happens that they very naturally, a lot of time, they look at what are the things that could go wrong, or the bad scenario.
Or that they're losing.
Yeah, they're losing or something like that. So, or things won't work. Yeah. So, I always tell people that, well, yes, you need to look at the problems, but you need to give yourself the chance to be able to look at things that will go right. What are the possibilities available to you here? What are the positive possibilities available to you, so that you're being fair to yourself? There's a 50-50, not just looking at things that will go wrong, but also things that could possibly come out right for you. What are things that could open up for you? So looking at possibilities, positive possibilities. Yeah. So I think that is the first so-called command that you give to yourself, to give you a chance to be able to get out of the box thinking. Yeah, looking at possibilities. Yeah, if things are possible, how would we proceed? Yeah, so that you won't get stuck, and then you pause, and then you're just not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And of course, there are some of the other characteristics and keys that you mentioned earlier. But I think we'll have to, let our listeners find out for themselves. Perhaps we wrap up the show now with a bit more about the work that you do at Mind Transformations.
Yeah. Well, we are in the training, consulting, and coaching, and our primary methodology is neuro-linguistic programming, and we've been doing that since 1990. I've been doing that since 1995. I started the company in 1997. So the people that normally come to us, they are looking for certification training. They also look for me in terms of coaching. And for organization, there's a lot of emphasis on organizational development. So these are the work that we provide, the services that we provide to the public. And I think that if you are sensing some kind of, you are wanting to make a change, you get a sense that you have enough of what you don't want, what you don't want, then the time is now to make a decision about thinking about what you want, and at the same time empowering yourself with the right resources.
And Barney, thank you once again for coming in. Barney Wee, founder, trainer, coach, and management consultant of Mind Transformations. You can get more information at mindtransformations.com. If you have something to share with me as well on the show, email me, Eugene, at mediacorp.com.sg. I'm Eugene Lowe. This has been a Slice of Life Hour on 938 Live.